All right, let's go. Hi-ho, let's go. So this is my own car now, leaving the Tesla center in Turku, which is located again in Raisio. Bunch of Tesla cars here, you can see. A white Juniper arriving. And then there's the outbound or inbound area inside the cage there, where you can see my car still, as I pointed out earlier already. Yeah, but if I compare this car to that standard rear-wheel drive, the difference in the suspension, at least initially, feels like quite small. Orienteering. There's a woman there participating in orienteering. Orienteering? Something like that. Oh, another one. Kid, look at that. Where's she going? So the standard model almost drew to the left here. This seems better. I have no idea why. Like, was there something wrong with that car? I don't get it. Why would it do that? On 2 occasions today, something weird happened with this car as well. It was a bit windy outside. I was going on the highway, but it decided to kind of, yeah, let's turn to the right, even though it's a straight lane. So something really strange going on. And then that car, the standard, that I just had a video, I'm gonna be creating video about, really don't know what happened there. It tried to kind of like drive towards the truck on the right hand side lane as I was passing on the left hand side lane. Yeah, gotta watch the video and understand what happened there. Yeah, but if I think about the acceleration, like as you can see here, I'm using the chill mode. I don't want to be using the normal mode. Maybe if I go on a highway road or somewhere like long, which I barely ever do, maybe a couple times a year, then I could put it on. But if I'm regularly driving inside here, like in the city, like I'm using chill. Like chill, I'm driving the chill mode. I'm not in a hurry to go elsewhere. I'm driving at the pretty much exactly the same speed limit that is the speed limit. I've set it to +1. If you really pay attention here, it's 41 max. So I think that's okay, because I checked from a GPS device like the watch here that if it goes at 41, it's actually 40. So that's how it is. BYD car. And there's the Tesla center. Acceleration lane. So this is how I accelerate the car. I'm a goddamn grandma, so why would I need a supercar or supercar acceleration? I don't. My thing with the cars is I want to understand the technology, I want to drive safe and use everything that the car has. I want to test drive full self-driving. I want to see what it can do, what it cannot do, see the braking points and just understand. Oh, look at that, same car as mine. A black Juniper. That is, I think, the 4th one I've seen today, and I've been out here a couple of hours now. Now there's a lot more usage in the IKEA, so there's 7 available. That means there's six cars being charged there. So it looks like quite a bit of people are using that. I've passed this now 3 times. This is the third time, and past 2 times it was 3 cars charging. Now it's 6, so maybe it's kind of the rush hour today. 2.9 bars. Look at that. As it should be. I don't have enhanced autopilot. I have to do the monkey driving like this. This is monkey driving. I'm grabbing the goddamn wheel. Ooh, ah! And this is the Jesus pose. Or maybe Buddha pose. Buddha pose. Something like that. It's asking me to turn the wheel. Don't do the Buddha pose, dude. Okay. It saw me through the camera and it's happy enough that, yeah, do whatever you want, looks like. Now, what I really hate about the Juniper is when I turn right and disengage autopilot, what happens is that it turns off the traffic aware cruise control as well, because you can only use either one. So that's a clear downside going from the old Model Y to this new Model Y Juniper, at least here in Finland. So I would hope that Tesla does the right thing and brings that back. I test drove this car model last year, immediately when it was released here in Raisio, and that was the first thing I noticed. I told the sales guy there that, hey, have you noticed this? They hadn't yet. I explained what the thing is, what I would like to have, but still hasn't come back to this car, or hasn't been arrived or added to the car, and it would be just a software update. So basically bring back the feature that is in the current Model Y. So don't make it like you have to switch between having TACC or having the Autopilot, but rather just have Autopilot and that. Maybe double clicking. That's not so bad, right? Because now I engage Autopilot by pressing the button here once. Like if I take it off, now you can see that there's this gray steering wheel top left. If I want to engage Autopilot, I press the button. That turns into blue now. Now it's being autopiloted. If I put the left indicator and turn the wheel, you can see that the Autopilot disengaged, but as well, the TACC is not engaged anymore as it used to be. So that's not good. So it should be such that when I disengage the Autopilot, TACC is automatically enabled, because that's just a no-brainer. That's how it was in the old car. Why won't you have it in the new car? Like, why would you make something worse? Why would you make a new car worse? Doesn't make any sense. So yeah, that's one of the features that I don't like about this car. The previous car was better. But what I do like about this Juniper is the noise reduction is immense. So all the windows here are triple glazed and soundproof glass essentially. So that means that there's less noise coming from outside in, which is great. Also the suspension is a lot better. Very similar to the Highland Model 3 upgrade that happened, I believe, 3 years ago. Yeah, 2023, end of 2023. So that car, when I test drove it the first time in the first major light show here in Finland, it was in Espoo. I had like 15 minutes to test drive that car. I drove it over a couple of bumps. There was this kind of place where they're in Espoo where they were doing some road maintenance. So they had like took off some asphalt, and it was like gap this high. I was going quite slowly over that and almost felt nothing. I was kind of blown away. And then the other guy, I was sitting on the kind of passenger seat. Another guy was driving the car at the same time. We were both in the same test drive. So we asked to get 30-minute test drive for two guys, so we could basically drive 15 minutes each, just to see what the car is there like. And we were attending this light show event where Simon Pollock was there, doing the first light show in Finland. Anyways. So when the other guy was driving the car, I was sitting on the passenger seat, and he went over the bump. He was going maybe like 20-30 kilometers per hour over a bump this high, like really sharp bump in the asphalt, and I felt nothing. I was kind of blown away. I felt like the car was something like almost like maybe not as good as Mercedes-Benz or BMW, which I haven't really driven myself, being only a passenger, but I felt like it's getting to the level that the suspension is good as those. And now with this Juniper car, I think the main two gripes that I had with my previous car was the lousy suspension, the booming noise at the back. Like when I'm driving on a road, it just sounded horrible. The suspension was just wobbling all the time, and I just call it like a rattle box. I'm driving in my little rattle box, and it's fine. The car is great, the technology is great, but it's a rattle box. I call it what it is. And with this car, with the Juniper, those two main gripes are now gone, which I absolutely love. And now my biggest gripe with this car is that it's yeah, okay, look at that. That was Autopilot, or actually kind of it blinked the warning lights because it thought I was going over the side of the lane from the left side. It was basically drawing on the left side red markers that, hey, don't go over on the left hand side. So stuff like that is really annoying, and what would solve that is we would get full self-driving. So jokingly, I call this car half a car. It's not an automobile, it's basically mobile. It's not an auto, it's not an automobile, it's a mobile. It can drive when I press the pedal, it can do some autopilot action and TACC action as well, but it's not automobile. What makes it an automobile would be FSD. FSD is the thing that would make this like a proper car. Okay, let's not call it a car, a proper auto. And I'm waiting that it can do that. And hopefully that will happen soon. In the Netherlands, we could be getting that in first time in EU in 13 days. That's 10th of April, 2026. I believe that's a Friday. I think that's a Friday. So that would be excellent. And if that happens, I'd be stoked. Oh, by the way, 10th of April, yeah, it is a Friday, because I remember 10th of April, I'm going to be test driving FSD here in Turku, or Raisio here in Finland for the first time. I won't be sitting here in this seat. A Tesla employee will be sitting here in this seat in the car. It's going to be, I think, a Model 3. But I'll be here on the right side, because it's called FSD, Full Self-Driving Experience, as a passenger. Well, full self-driving as a passenger is better. Classic Model S. More full self-driving as a passenger is better than no full self-driving at all. So that will be my first experience. I will be recording that as a video, just to see my initial reaction to that. I watched maybe like 100 hours of footage over the last 3, 4, 5 years of full self-driving, and around 3 or 2 years ago, let's say, I think 2 years ago, I was convinced that, yeah, this problem is going to be solved now when they switched from the human-written C++ implementation of 300,000 lines of... Look at what I'm doing here. So, if I would have the autopilot on, it would be going on the right-hand side. So what I had to do is basically disengage autopilot and now engage it again. So this is the kind of nonsense that I have to deal with on a daily basis. I want to use autopilot, but I cannot. I'll demonstrate here what it does next. So it's going to go to the rightmost side, like automatically. Look at this. Oh, let's teeter off to the right, weird to the left. Okay, that was not too bad. But yeah, I was saying, so it's way better to be able to experience FSD as a passenger than not experience that at all. Since now with the neural network implementation, where you throw away the old FSD implementation, which was done with 300,000 lines of C++ code that a human being had basically implemented. Basically just like rules, like if there's traffic lights over there in this scenario, if it's green, go ahead, stay in the lane, go forward. Look at this nonsense, autopilot nonsense. But with the neural network, with the FSD version 12 onwards, what happens is that it's basically the ChatGPT model. So using neural nets that actually learn from human input how to drive and how to do things. And as I saw the videos, I was convinced, yeah, it's basically, it's a done deal. It's going to be solved. But nobody else, even if I told them and showed them the videos, they would not believe. I was kind of disappointed. And yeah, it's been like that for years now, and now in a couple of weeks I will be experiencing it for the first time. So great, gonna be looking forward to that.